The island of Sodor is a railway to many engines that have been saved from scrap. But is it not the only place with engines? Once upon a time, it wasn't once upon a time, it was really in the early years, but not really in the early years. It was maybe the 1930s. There were different engines. I don't know what year it should be. There were 2 American Pacifics and an Atlantic Sea one that was very cocky. The 2 American engines were kind to any engine, especially even shunters, but she hated shunters. And there was also one of the oldest engines, Old Puff Pete. He was an old engine, designed in the early years. Worked very hard. Then there was William, a one-of-a-kind engine built by William Poldhusky. But that's a story for another time. The 5 big engines lived there as the shunters lived at the station. The manager arrived. "Ah, you're here. Now I need you to take your regular express." "Yes, sir," the Atlantic Sea one said. I can't think of names for them right now. That's John. That's Johnny. That's William. That's Old Papa Pete. This is Meredith. No, I'll think of a name later. And with that, she puffed out. The station is a busy place. Packages are put in place. Doors can be shut. And cargo is loaded carefully. The shunter was shunting the train into its correct area when the express engine arrived. "You're going to make me late! Hurry up!" The passengers were boarded and delivered, and everyone was ready. There is also an old shunter that works, and he was, like Old Puffer Pete, one of the first engines built. He didn't really have a name, just a number. 15. He usually kept to himself. But he was a very useful engine back in the early days. The express engine returned with the train done. And left to go to the sheds. She sat in the shed and was done for the day when an urgent call came. "A passenger train has been..." But let's rewind that. The shunters were beginning to work hard, but felt sad they felt sad as soon as they heard some news. "Old Puffer Pete, you shall have a memorial in tomorrow. Due to lack of money and maintaining you with the financing and insurance and the contracts. I'm afraid that your time has come to an end. I'm so sorry, but the tank engine said nothing. The next morning, she returned from the express again. She said she thought she was done for the day when a call came. An express is needed to be taken. Can you do the job? Why, certainly. Is ready. The shunters didn't listen. They just stayed there. Silent. She was confused. With that, passengers swarmed onto the platforms with goodbye signs, and there was a huge goodbye banner on the top of the station. Suddenly, there was a small blast. The old steam engine made his way He went slowly but surely back and coupled up to the big express engine. What is the meaning of this? You'll have to make a detour, by the way. Did she not tell you? Yes, you'll have to be going to Gronkland Scrapyard. Huh. I'm gonna jump there. God, what damn it. What's this? Why does this happen to me? Anyway, they puffed away. In the ending, in the end, she came back, but she wasn't the same. She was silent. She had seen the inside of the scrapyard. Now, she didn't hate Shunters as much as she used to. She slowly puffed away. Like an old engine. She stayed silent. When there's a train needed to be taken, the shipmaster said as he arrived. Are you up for the task, or are you gonna stay in the sun? Yes, sir. And with that, she steamed away. She found the goods train and waited. She looked around the station. The shunters had been sad. They were silent. She said, "I'm sorry." She was coupled up and with that, ready to go. She arrived at the scrapyard and shunted it into a siding. There were long lines of coaches. Soon she saw in the rubble the old engine. And then, oops. No! He was taken away. She sobbed as she puffed away. She arrived at the back of the shed. Silent. Not mortified, but just silent. She didn't feel herself. She now realized that even if shunters were slow, they had a pale ace in the world, and they were in danger. So she realized that shunters should not be given no respect, but rather they shouldn't be disrespected. They should just be given the respect they deserve. The end.